Well, before there was war in Iran or the Nancy Guthrie disappearance, the big story on everyone's mind was that of deportations. And the boogeyman du jour for many on the left was the humble ICE agent. One Democratic lawmaker who is still enraged by the idea of having ICE in his community is Michigan Congressman Shri Thanedar. He's been busy protesting plans to open a 500-bed facility in his district, and he says he's going to do everything in his power to block it. You probably remember Tanadar for his efforts in trying to impeach Pete Hegseth, Pam Bondi, and of course, President Trump. He also said the State of the Union would be made up of lies.
Donald Trump is going to go to the U.S. Congress and talk about State of the Union. He will tell a whole bunch of lies because he has failed to take care of the crisis.
He's also vehemently opposed to President Trump's military action in Iran. Congressman Tanadar has agreed to join us tonight. Congressman, thank you very much. We've enjoyed your social media videos, obviously, so thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. Before we get to other topics, I must ask you about your stance on these strikes in Iran. You've described President Trump's handling of the conflict as an illegal war, but even Kamala Harris referred to Iran as our greatest adversary. Watch.
Which foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
I think there's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran. Iran has American blood on their hands.
So why is the former leader of your party and the woman who ran for president wrong?
Well, look, we had no imminent danger. You know, I have heard President Trump say his son-in-law told him that Iran is about to attack us. Vice President J.D. Vance had another reason. Secretary Rubio said a third reason. Rubio said that Iran is going to be attacked by Israel, and then he expects Iran to hit back us. There is no consistent reasoning, and this administration has not made a case to the American public why we needed to go into the war, spending billions of dollars. So far, I think we've spent over $10 billion on this 12-day war. And there is no end in sight. They said it's a regime change. Yeah.
It hasn't even been 2 weeks, so to say that there's no end in sight. I think we can wait a little bit to make sure that the terrorism in Iran is subdued. But the administration has actually laid out a number of objectives. They said that the Iranian regime cannot obtain nuclear weapons. They refuse to stop enriching. We offered them nuclear fuel for life. They refuse to take it. They don't want their terror proxies to be funded by the regime any longer. And we want to take out their ballistic missile program, which is the delivery mode for a nuclear weapon. So you keep saying imminent threat. At what point can America be offensive in this aspect? Does it take screwing a ballistic missile with a nuclear weapon for you to act? I mean, at what point are they a danger to us?
Well, look, Iran always had enrichment ability. They are sitting on 60%.
Do you think they should get a nuclear bomb? Are you okay with them getting a bomb?
Absolutely not. Iran should never have a nuclear bomb. But look, Trump told us, 6 months ago when he bombed Iran, that he has destroyed Iran's nuclear capabilities. Now he's coming back and saying we have an imminent threat, nuclear threat. Yeah. Absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. See, look, they have 60% enriched uranium. They need to go to above 90% before they can make a bomb. And we have not even touched this 60% enriched uranium. We don't know where it is in Iran. We haven't gotten it.
Well, it's getting bombed if it's still there. That's what's happening. I want to get to another topic, but just real quickly, I just have to say that two things can be true at once. The nuclear sites can have been obliterated last summer by the United States, while at the same time, the regime just days later continuing to say they wanted to enrich uranium and then using their ballistic missile program to protect them and to protect their nuclear program, which is why the U.S. military is taking it out now. But I want to turn to ICE because that's another topic that you are constantly talking about. You are protesting a new ICE facility in your district. Just yesterday, there was an arrest of illegal immigrants in Michigan for drug, gun, and child pornography charges. You had an illegal alien from Venezuela today arrested and charged after assaulting a federal agent and grabbing his gun while resisting arrest. You have a number of other cases in Michigan where these violent criminal aliens have been out on the streets and ICE is there to take them away. And yet you are trying to introduce legislation to abolish ICE, and you don't want facilities to keep these criminals off the streets. Explain that.
Well, look, only 14% of those detained by ICE have any kind of criminal record. So they are detaining, Trump has given them a daily quota of 3,000 detainees, 3,000 arrests. And the way they're doing it is going to Home Depot parking lot. Now, they're not going to find, gang members and rapists at Home Depot parking lots or schools or courtrooms. So look, only 14% had any kind of criminal record. A mother
Is it
of
worth
three.
it to you to risk it for the 14% who have violent records and child pornography charges?
Well, look, there is no doubt that the hardened criminals, gang members, the rapists need to be deported. But this
Where
ICE
should they sleep once they get
organization,
arrested if they don't have a facility because you're boycotting it and trying to get it not built? Where are they going to sleep?
Well, they don't have a plan. They don't have judicial warrants. These rogue ICE goons are killing American citizens, kidnapping a 5-year-old Leon. You know, the ICE are out of control. They have recruited 10,000 people in a hurry. They have not been properly trained. So this ICE organization is, totally out of control and must be ended. And that's why I brought in abolishing qualified immunity for ICE agents.
Yeah.
And just a couple of weeks ago, I brought in abolishing ICE.
Well, I think
Act.
that constituents in your district may be concerned about these criminal aliens with violent records not having a place to stay, since you're trying to get the detention center out of the district and you're also trying to get rid of ICE overall. But we'll let them deal with that. Congressman Tanadar, thank you so much for your time tonight. We look forward to having you back.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.